So the funny thing about the Jazz Thunder series is that while it is being branded as a huge upset in the making, it's not really, right? I mean, sure, Oklahoma City way outpaces the Jazz in magazine covers, but Utah has the front runner for Defensive Player of the Year, one of the league candidates for Coach of the Year, and one of the most sensationally exciting rookies to come along this decade. And yes, the Thunder are the higher seed, but only by a virtue of tiebreakers that chained out the final night of the regular season. OKC and the Jazz actually finished this year with identical records. So why does it feel so very big what happened in that arena in Salt Lake City last night? Maybe it's because the whole thing had the vibe of a basketball game wrapped in a Broadway show wrapped in a wrestling match. I mean, it started pregame, right? When TNT showed those side-by-side shots of Russ looking all ready and fierce next to a zen Ricky Rubio. And sure enough, Russ opened the action by picking up Rubio at full court. But, well, I mean, I got to say, we predicted this on the show yesterday, that Russ's focus on, quote, shutting down Rubio would likely distract him from his larger goal. And indeed, that seems to be what happened, as Rubio baited Russ into 2 fouls in the opening 8 minutes. By the end of the first half, Russ was up to 4. And if you had any trouble keeping track of that, you could just look to Mitt Romney, odd, who was taunting him from the crowd in his button-down shirt and custom jersey. This, by the way, is where I will pause and show you the picture of Romney during his presidential run. Yeah, I digress. The foul trouble was one thing, but what also didn't help the Thunder was abandoning basic offensive principles. From early in the second quarter to late in the third, Oklahoma City went 22 minutes, 9 seconds of game time without recording an assist. Melo missed so many shots, I was wondering if the equipment guy would break out the emergency hoodie just to try to get him going. And at the other end, things were even worse as OKC appeared to just, I don't know, flat out forget how to defend the pick and roll. They overhelped over and over again. I mean, this just gets so ugly. And it's not a good combo when it is also paired with this kind of transition defense that resembles a piece of cheesecloth. It is no shock that this all devolved into a shoving match late in the fourth, where we got Jay Crowder elbowing Steven Adams, and Adams not even moving. Honestly, that was probably the best moment of the night for Thunder fans. And while Crowder was ejected, Jazz fans too busy celebrating to care. Take a little listen in here.
What have you shown? We're gonna let that keep going. There we go.
20,000 people screaming your name does not get old. That is the crowd going so loud for Donovan Mitchell. He could not even continue his post-game interview. He just walked off the court with Ricky Rubio, and they should be screaming, those fans. Mitchell broke Karl Malone's rookie scoring record last night. It's just already clear in these playoffs. He's not just a budding star, but a star right now, in the present. Of course, it's the Thunder who were supposed to have the star-studded team coming into this matchup, and they do have the reigning MVP. But what this series is underscoring is that on a super team, the team part of the word is just as important. And it will be the reason that if the Jazz do close out this series, maybe it won't really be that much of an upset after all. Now, we're going to get into the big picture ramifications here, but I got to just ask you guys, should Jay Crowder have been thrown out of that game?
I don't think so. I mean, if you look at it, when they got into the altercation, Melo stuck his hand out. He was getting Melo's hand out of his face and then accidentally hit Steven Adams. I mean, this has been a chippy series between these two teams. I don't think he warranted anything. They just got in each other's face. No harm, no foul. Play on. Look, get your hand on my face. Right. Get your hand on my face and let's go.
By the way, it's Russ.
So, like,
really
why is it Melo should have got ejected if he did? You know, it's just.
It's just chippy. Like you said, the NBA, I understand that you're trying to keep the game under control. But Jay Crowder, first of all, you got to have intent, I would think, if you're going to throw him out. He had no idea that Adams was back there. And he was basically saying to Carmelo, get your hands off me.
Right.
So to get thrown out in that fashion, I understand it from a league perspective because, like I said, it's above the shoulders. It hit him, even though it was an accident. But come on, guys. I mean, let them play basketball. No blood, no harm, no foul.
Right, let them play
basketball.
Okay, first of all, just because Steven Adams has the body control not to bleed does not mean you should punish him. But no, I'm going to play devil's advocate just in this. First of all, I do agree he did not have intent. I think it's pretty obvious from the video. He did purposely try to get Steven Adams out. But you are kind of responsible for your own body, especially when it's around another player's face. And aren't the refs at that point? It's late in the game. Throwing Crowder out is not going to affect Utah winning. Aren't they just trying to dissolve it so it doesn't get worse?
I think so. I think they are definitely trying to keep it under control. That's why you throw him out. But, you know, as a referee, sometimes you got to also use your better judgment. See, we know good and well he wasn't attending. Again, I'm just trying to get Carmelo off me.
Right.
That's the bottom line. I'm trying to get him off me, and then you want to make sure it doesn't escalate, and that's what the referees are doing as well. So, like I said, I understand it. I don't like it, but I understand it.
Would you like to see Steven Adams and just how impressive he is? Because our canny producer crew assembled a roll of Steven Adams being hit in the face, and apparently this just does not bother the young man.
Oh, no.
Nope, not there.
Australia.
Not there.
watch out.
He's from New Zealand now.
Oh, New Zealand, yeah. You know,
Right?
he used to get hit in the face.
Right.
He has 17. I don't remember if he has 17
that was a
siblings or
good
he's
one.
one of 17 siblings. Either way,
phased.
he's the youngest, and he's told a bunch of
he's got
stories about
beat
how
up a
he's
lot,
got beat up quite a bit.
got beat up.
That
growing
chin
up.
looked like it's been tested. He could take a punch.
Yeah, yes, he can.